Mm. Tonight, the Lawyers and Show is live. We're going to be talking about Kamala Harris. She already got the Democratic nomination. She is expected to basically go to the convention and accept it in Chicago. So tonight we'll be talking about her chances of winning, and let's talk about her record. Plus, also the tragic death of Sony Massey from Illinois. We'll talk about that a little bit. Lawyer Henson's live. This is the Lawyers and Podcast Show. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about Vice President Kamala Harris tonight on the Lawyers and Podcast Show. She basically is the Democratic nominee. Okay, her chances of winning, and who could basically be her running mate. Tonight, the Lawyers and Podcast Show is going to dig in. We're going to give our 2 cents here. Hit that thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. You can leave your comments, of course. Join us as always on the Lawyers and Podcast Show. A lot of people say that you don't have a time slot that when you come in, so we can't listen to you. We're going to go back to doing that so that you can know and get notifications. Screw to have me on a permanent shadow ban, so we're working on a lot of stuff. Like I said, we're still working on the platforms around the other platforms such as TikTok and others, and we might go back to Facebook for a little bit too. But ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Lawyers and Podcast Show is live here. And always go back and listen to a lot of the podcasts that I did in the past. And so if you've been listening to the Lawyers and Podcast Show, you know that we have always basically kept it real on this show, regardless of who like it. Everybody come on in. Today we're talking about Kamala Harris. But before we get to that, yeah, there was a deputy from Illinois who shot a black woman in her house. And it's all on video. The video is horrible. It's horrible. And so this deputy, Sean Grayson, has been charged with the killing death of Sony Massey out there in Illinois. So basically, these cops are continuing to be trigger hungry. And they basically, I don't think police officers should be carrying guns. I think that what they should be carrying is tasers. I think guns should be, if they are going to carry a gun, now that we have more guns on the street now, they feel like they should now. But we just have to get rid of the guns. But anyway, the tragic death, the family has hired Ben Crump and all of this. And so we already know what's going on here. Is to appease the family, and let's all not get rowdy and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they had called for they basically he been charged, and they also calling for the sheriff to step down because he's the one that hired this man, and this deputy, this race soldier, and did look at the record that he basically was previously, I guess, fired or was forced to resign from other agencies. And so they're looking at the personnel record, and they're also looking at that he was a troubled police officer from other police agencies, and the sheriff still hired him. And so, and we talked to you about this earlier, that these race soldiers, they get fired and they go and apply to another police agency, and then they get an opportunity to, to work at another agency. That's crazy. But anyway, rest in peace to our sister. And I think it was one time where she was like, "I love the police," or something she was saying before one of them shot her. Before this man shot her, I was like, "Wow, people who you say you love is the one who's killing you." And it's like it was crazy, but that was very tragic. I don't wish death on nobody because there's no coming back from that. But yes, anyway, we're talking about Kamala Harris. Her chances of winning. She's already the Democratic nominee for the presidential, to be the president of the United States, to be the next president of the United States. And there's an article that Vox did on July 22, 24. I want to give them, the credit for it. But in one of the articles, this was already happened. It already was released. It says something about, will Harris automatically replace Biden as the Democratic nominee? Well, we already know that she has replaced him and was going to replace Sleepy Joe. Because Sleepy Joe, he had doctors in and out. It was linked that he was getting treated for Parkinson's disease. And so they know that Sleepy Joe was not going to basically he could not basically run for 4 more years. So when Sleepy Joe basically got, had to go, Kamala Harris is now the nominee. Okay. And we already know about Kamala Harris. We know her record. We already know that she's not for Black people. We already know that she's trying to basically get in office to help her Jewish husband, so that the plan is to continue to ignore Black people and then try to continue their assault on our intelligence, claiming that this woman is going to do something for us. This is the same old Democratic playbook that we are used to. But anyway, the article goes on to say here, Harris has acknowledged this, which is she's talking about the nominee, and she tends to earn and win this nomination, which she's already done. And so they said she was endorsed by over 50 Democratic state party chairs, party leaders including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and many of her would-be Democratic rivals. That list includes Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, California Governor Gavin Newsom, Transportation Secretary Peter Buttigieg, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, Illinois Governor J.P. Pricer? Hope I said that man's name right. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, Colorado Governor Jared Polis, Maryland Governor Wes Moore, and North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper. Now, these are all her potential vice presidents picks, by the way. And so there's 2 of them, which are, of course, Jewish. A lot of them may be Jewish, but I don't know. I know 2 of them are. And that's this former mayor of, I just mentioned, former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg. Okay. I know he's Jewish, got to be. J.P. Pricer of Illinois, It almost kind of like, that she's going to pick Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker because he's from Illinois, and then that's where the shooting occurred of this woman, Sony Massey. So I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't pick Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker. I mean, she did not pick Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker. I think he's going to be her vice president pick. It's either out of uh, Pete Buttigieg or Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker, and I don't see the other ones. I definitely don't see right now Maryland Governor Wes Moore being one because I think he's going to run for governor again in Maryland. So it got to be either Peter Buttigieg or Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker. Okay, I could be wrong, but Gretmer, whatever her name is, Whitmer had already indicated she's not going to be running or do not accept the nominee. Okay. Now, West Virginia Joe Manchin is not going to also be it as well. And so we already knew, it's like I said, it's going to be out of these names I just mentioned. Okay. But the Democrats basically are in trouble. Now, Trump has picked as his vice president nominee J.D. Vance, and so it was good for him to call off the debate. They interviewed Kamala Harris, and Kamala said, "Well, they asked Kamala, well, Trump backed out at a debate," and she was like, "Well, he's backpedaling," with that silly ass giggle that she always do. No, this is good strategy for Trump because now you got a female and a woman. And you don't want to basically go in there and just say anything, and Trump has a history of just saying crazy stuff. So it was right for his campaign to be very, very strategic right now until there's a vice president pick. Because if you got Trump into a debate with her just right now, and she doesn't have a vice president, you're doing a disservice right now. Okay, so that was a smart move to do. And since J.D. Vance of Ohio is not really appealing to a lot of people, he is not really somebody that has charisma, right? And so he basically is really somebody who, just like when Trump picked his other vice president, didn't have no real charisma or whatever. So you want to be very, very sure as to who the Democrats are going to pick as vice president before you go into a debate with this woman, because it's going to look like they all, well, not just all, but, because only the president and the presidential contenders will debate. But you want her to get her vice president first. You don't want to go into basically, just only debating her without knowing who her vice president is, right? So this is a good strategy for Trump. And another thing is that Kamala Harris has a track record that basically also her boss Joe Biden had, and that is to put people in jail, ignore justice, and continue to try to pander to the Black community as if she's done something for us. Okay? Both her and Jim Crow Joe have a record of doing harm to us. And this is what their campaign and the Democrats have always been about. I'm not saying that the Republicans are either better. Okay. But they basically have this whole strategy that is really, really, really is getting people nervous. The white right is scared that this woman might win, and they're ready. They are ready. They're ready to tear the country up should Donald Trump lose again. And then you have the Hollywood type and the disorganized Democratic Party, who basically at first was not going to endorse Kamala Harris like the Obamas. But now they finally got Obama and Michelle to endorse Kamala Harris, calling her on the phone. This is me and Michelle. And Kamala Harris, we are going to endorse her, and we look forward for a great campaign. And me and Michelle is here for you. And if you need anything, we got you. So Obama finally endorses Kamala Harris after he said that he wouldn't. And just like Charlemagne the God, he said that he was not first going to endorse Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. And now the white Jewish community, as you see, had finally got him on board. Got him on board, because, they already know, hey, boy, listen, you're going to endorse this woman, okay? Because we basically give you the money that you got in your pocket, okay? So now she got the endorsement. Now the Hollywood heavyweights are coming back. George Clooney, who didn't want to have Biden in office and did not endorse Biden, is said that he is endorsing Kamala Harris. Okay. So it's this back and forth type thing here that these people are going for here. So kind of crazy. But when we come back here on the Lori Henderson show from our music break, we're going to get into the record of Kamala Harris. We're going to get into the kind of just this, how this woman is just so nasty and was so evil, and how she slept her way to the top. And that's basically, if a thought can be president, well, we already know why she wants to, she's basically running for that spot. It's really come down to because of her husband, who is Jewish. But when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, on the Lawyers and Podcast show from our music break, let's talk about it. You're listening to the Lawyers and Podcast show. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. YouTube have us on a permanent bang. You're listening to the Lawyers and Podcast show. Thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. We're talking about the chances of Kamala Harris winning the 2024 presidential debate. Some people are saying that the Democrats might as well wait until 2028. They basically is saying that Donald Trump have this. I don't know. With Kamala Harris and the white Jewish people, they try to do a lot and everything so that they can make sure that the people they want on a ticket win. And so Trump basically, though, have been endorsed by at least 10 billionaires. 10 billionaires. Trump has been endorsed by 10 billionaires, which some of them are Jewish. So now you have a situation where they had that people in Hollywood and other folks in America and the white Jewish people in America had no choice but to get behind Kamala Harris. But then Donald Trump has almost 10 billionaires endorsing him, and a few of them are Jewish. And so the Jewish community have been implementing American policy ever since of 100 and more years ago. You see, and here's the Black people gets no say in the American politics, American political system, and we're the one who built the country. You know? But anyway, we're talking about the points that I want to make as to Kamala Harris's chances, but how she basically got into politics and her record, and how she slept her way to the top of getting ahead in this particular situation. The only thing that she is showing Indian females and Black women, or Jamaican women, if she can be called a Black person, the only reason then why they put this woman in office, as we know, not only because she's a puppeteer, but she's going to do the bidding of these white Jewish people. And she's going to try to put their policies, or the policies of Israel, and to make sure that the policy of Israel basically continue, and so they can continue to ignore the American people. And this is one of their strategies here. The other strategy here is the fact that Kamala Harris has no appeal, but at the same time, she want to continue Obama and Joe Biden's policies as well, right? So it's almost kind of like a third term that we got out of Joe Biden of Obama, and then a fourth term that we might get from Kamala Harris. And all of this has been about giving money to Israel, continuing this war, and to basically make sure that people in the United States suffer more, right? And so people are really getting tired of this. They're ready to turn up. You got white folks online crying about not being able to pay their bills now. And we've been telling white folks this a lot of times based upon the folks who are running this country. Now, the white right, they understand, you know, but the people who are not in politics, the white folks who are not in politics, they're now coming online. I can't do it no more. I work 3 jobs and I'm working 3 jobs and I just can't do it. And I can't find a husband. You know, these Gen Zs are not getting married just like their parents and grandparents, right? So like a single person, it's kind of hard now, you know. But anyway, the record of Kamala Harris is damaging, man. It's real damaging. You know, this woman was denying innocent people to get out of, getting out of jail. She basically was, making sure that Black folks stay in jail. Her record is just like Joe Biden's. I told you. She was locking people up. I mean, this woman's record is dangerous. And now she want to be the president just like Sleepy Joe. This is outrageous. And then she have this crazy giggling and stuff. And then she runs to the sorority sisters. I need you to endorse me and stuff like that. Hey, like I said all the time, if you listen to some of my video, my video essays on the subject, no such thing as no Black Greek. Okay. So the thing about Kamala Harris' record is that she is going to continue to pass legislation that is going to discriminate and continue the record of ignoring Black people as she get in there. Let's just stop the sisterhood fake stuff that she always do, pretending like she's a Black woman now that she needs Black people to vote for her. She will basically do everything for Indians and Jews. She has no intentions to do anything for Black folks. And these politicians run to the Black community only when it's time to get elected. They do nothing for Black folks. Nothing. They only need us to go out and vote. And we as black men, we are right to say that we're going to sit on our couch and not go out there and vote. But this woman's record, though, is not only crazy, but how she got into politics and how she slept her way to the top, man. Okay. When she was, having sexual relationship with low down Willie Brown, and then recently they went back and found out that she was sleeping with Montel Williams, the host of the Montel Williams show. Montel Williams dated. She and her they dated. But as she started to get the politics, now she run and get a white husband. Okay, because what they try to do is that when you basically are dating quote unquote black men, who's in the industry, you're trying to get ahead. You're trying to get something, for out of just to help yourself or whatever. Okay. And Kamala Harris was dating not only low down Willie Brown, he allowed her to drive a lot of luxury cars. And was paying her for not really doing it, for what I understand, for not really doing any work, But that's how she got her early starts in politics. And then, like I said, she started dating celebrities or whatever and hanging out with them. And then she started dating Montel Williams and stuff. This woman had been sleeping around for a long time. This woman was a real thought. But they said, no, you gotta, once you go and try to get into politics, you gotta stop your sleeping around and your thoughting ways. You gotta stop that because now we're trying to put you into politics so you can help us out. And this is how she started to dating and then later married this white Jewish man she's with now. But Kamala Harris' history of sleeping around goes back way back when she was young, right? And so she has a history of being a slut. And so you have a lot of women like that sleep around to get themselves up to the top of the ladder or whatever. And so this is what she has done. Okay. And so now that she basically is in a position as the vice president, now she's seeking the president office. But how did she get there? Is she telling black women or Jamaican women and Indian women that this is how you do it? This is how you get ahead. Not only do you sleep your way up to the top, then once you become successful, you go and you get you a white man. Okay? Is that what they define as success in America for a black woman? Okay? To Ketanji Brown, same way. Married to a white man. Okay? That's what they're telling black women, that this is how you make it. And that's what some of you black men are telling other black men, that when you date interracially, you're telling them this is the easy way to get ahead. Byron Allen, married to his white wife, she's not doing anything that convenient him, right? She's there to take his money. Okay. And so this is what they're telling you in America, that the only way you can make it in this society is that you have to interracially date. You can't be successful with a black man or a black woman on your arm. No. You got to go out and you got to sleep around. And then once you want to make it and get real serious about things, you got to marry somebody who's not black. Yeah. That's how you make it. But this woman has been sleeping her way to the top. So it's going to be interesting to see if she wins or will Donald Trump win. This is an interesting race that we got here, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be interesting. Even though I think Trump will still win, I don't know with a lot of things about what this woman, because the white Jewish community, they basically controls and run everything in politics and then in media. So this is going to be interesting. But Trump do have the support of 10 billionaires, and Kamala Harris is not compelling. The Gen Zs are not really basically rocking with her. I mean, she's trying to appeal to them, but she's not really getting nobody that really likes her, and her sorority sisters are not going to do it. And then her campaign to try to get the sister girlhood thing going, that's really lacking. You got certain Black women on line who is calling her out. There's Black men who are not going to basically support her. You got Black people online saying that she's not Black and that we're not going to go out and vote for her. We're going to stay home. They're not voting for her nor Donald Trump. So this is going to be an interesting election cycle. Interesting year, 2024. But yes, Kamala Harris is now the endorsement. And in Chicago, they are already stating or has said that they have repeated, they are not going to allow this convention to go on. They're going to basically show up at the event, because of all of these illegal immigrants just in the Black community over there in Chicago. They are really going to turn up. I mean, this is going to be really, really, really interesting. I can't wait to see what's going on at this convention. They said that they're coming out because they are basically sick and tired of the Democrats not only bringing these illegal immigrants over to our communities, they are sick and tired of them getting money that they're not entitled to and not giving us our reparations. See, this is the problem now. Black people basically, enough of us, I'll say enough of us because there's still some of us who are still clowning, but there's enough of us who are saying no more. Either you give the Black community a Black agenda, you give us reparations, you give us what we deserve, or we're going to stay home. We're not going to vote. Y'all only want us to vote, come out to try to get us to elect y'all and recognize us as when it's election time. And that's what Malcolm taught us. He said, you can't find these politicians until election time. And he was right. Okay. And so now everything is becoming very, very clear that Black people are really going to start shutting down certain types of events where they have been left out into the cold. And we got to send these illegal immigrants back. And so Trump got to get in office. We got to send these people back. These folks are disrespecting the Black community. Okay. And these white folks know this. This is why they put them over here. You know, everything that they do is basically to try to keep us down, try to keep us in a segmented labor market. And that's how they was able to continue their assault since this country been a country. The past 222 years, this nation has been a nation. It is always to keep the Black man in a segmented labor market. And they have help here. You understand? And so, again, this is going to be interesting, that basically of this election, like I said. But yeah, leave your comments, like, share, and subscribe. Of course, if you disagree, leave your comments and tell me where I'm wrong. You're listening to the Lawyers and Podcast Show.